TST 2025 may well be into its 5th day, but that does not mean things are slowing down here in Cary, North Carolina. Wake Med Soccer Park, the scene for TST 7 versus 7. A men's tournament beginning with 48 teams, and we are down to the last 4. The first of 2 semifinals coming up here on ESPN+. In just a few minutes, Pasha Luxury FC will kick off against Bumpy Pitch FC. Bumpy Pitch undefeated so far in the tournament. And then we got the nightcap for the other spot in that $1 million championship tomorrow night. Pumas, the Alabama, which has impressed. And Concaifa SC, that's right, Pat McAfee's boys in the semis and with a shot at the $1 million. Welcome to Cary, North Carolina, alongside Hercules Gomez. I'm Sebastian Salazar. Great to have you with us here on a day full of great soccer action. It is 7v7, Herc, but just because it ain't 11v11 doesn't mean it's not as good. We just watched 2 women's semifinals that were incredible drama. The U.S. women just punched their ticket to the final. You can't ask for much more than what we've seen so far.
If these 2 teams, Pasha and Bumpy Pitch, can match what we just saw from the women, that last game, you're in for a treat.
All right, let's get into the players to watch presented by Soccer.com for today's first of 2 semifinals on the men's side. Why don't we start with Pasha Luxury FC's Bakari Sacco, Herc?
Yeah, Bakari Sacco, not to be confused with Bukayo Saka. This player, a pacey ex-Mali international with experience in the top leagues in Europe, like the Premier League. He played an FA Cup final with Crystal Palace. This guy knows what he's doing. A thunderbolt of a left foot.
All right, and what about for Bumpy Pitch? You picked out Cristian Borja.
Well, I picked him out for good reason. He leads TST in goals. Cristian Martinez Borja, who's been all over the place, the Colombian, he's played in Mexico, he's played in Ecuador, he's played in Brazil, and what does he do? He scores everywhere he goes. A plethora of experience, and he leads TST in goals.
There you have it. Bumpy Pitch taking on Pasha Luxury for a spot in tomorrow's $1 million final. When we return, first half kickoff from Cary, North Carolina. This is TST on ESPN. The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of TST. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the soccer tournament 2025. Alongside Hercules Gomez, I'm Sebastian Salazar. We're just about ready for kickoff in the first of two semifinals on the men's side of the bracket. This one featuring Bumpy Pitch FC and Pasha Luxury. If you're unfamiliar with the rules of the competition, here they are. It ain't 11 on 11. It's 7v7, 20-minute halves, no offside or throw-ins. Everything's played from your feet. The ball must be advanced every 8 seconds. Can't sit on the ball here. And as you know, what makes this event so special, every match ends in target score time. At the end of regulation, we'll add 1 to the goal total of the team in the lead. That becomes the target score, and whoever hits that number in target score time tomorrow will be playing for $1 million. And we're underway. Bumpy Pitch wearing the dark green kit. They'll be going left to right on your screen. Pasha Luxury wearing the yellow tops and black shorts. They'll be going right to left. Bumpy Pitch arriving here courtesy of a 2-1 victory over Drip FC in yesterday's quarterfinal. Pasha Luxury got here by knocking out the defending champs La Bombonera last night, 4-3. Charlie Gonzalez, the number 10 for Bumpy Pitch, found himself on the ball there.
Charlie Gonzalez, who plays for the San Diego Sockers, actually talking to Ben here, one of the founders of Bumpy Pitch, telling me he's the main architect of this team for Bumpy Pitch.
You know those indoor guys, they stand out in this tournament. We saw that really kind of come to fruition last year. The MASL players were just dominant. We know Pat McAfee's team from KFSC has a bunch of MASL players on it. So if you're an Arena League player, if you're an indoor player, if you're a futsal player, you brought that up earlier today, this game is kind of suited for you, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. These tight spaces, the movements, the pressure, being used to the line change. What I think is the most important thing here is you don't want to be caught. You don't want to... Look, there we go.
Pasha Luxury on the ball. Marnias, wearing the number 11, fires it back. And Pasha will look to build from Kieran Westwood, their goalie. Wearing the Kelly green kit, not to be confused with the dark green of Bumpy Pitch. Pitch defense holding up well there, courtesy Mitchell Cardenas.
He was between some big boys, some big bodies there. Got out of that one very nicely.
Two and a half minutes in here in the first semifinal. Second semifinal coming up later tonight. Pumas de Alabama. I never know if should I say Alabama like Alabama or should I say Alabama after I said Pumas. Taking on Conquefa SC, of course, Pat McAfee.
How do you normally say Alabama?
Alabama.
How do you say Pumas?
Pumas. Pumas de Alabama.
There you go.
I've heard a lot of good things about that team. I haven't seen them play yet, other than some highlights, but looking forward to see them play tonight. I know everybody's super hyped about watching Conquefa.
Cardenas right there, just caught with a little shove.
Free kick coming here. Our center F, Brandon Marion, will be in charge of the proceedings this afternoon. Cary, North Carolina has not exactly been a cool spot this week. Temperatures in the 90s throughout the day. Hurt with sweat and bullets just on the drive over here. Really an unpleasant scene.
I've been pretty cool under these type of climates. It's been a while since I've been in some, actually since last year.
That's right. You live in, of course, Connecticut up there at the worldwide leader in sports, so probably not accustomed to these southeastern summers.
Not anymore.
Slow start here between Bumpy Pitch and Pasha Luxury. Bumpy Pitch have yet to lose so far in this tournament. Pasha did suffer defeat in the group phase, but managed to bounce back and make it to the last four. course, we're playing for that $1 million prize, and one thing we know, we will have a new champion this year. That's thanks to Pasha Luxury, as they eliminated La Bombonera last night. Herc, you and I were here for the final last year. The La Bombonera team was so good. It must have taken something special from Pasha to beat them.
Yeah, last year they were stacked with players from the Major Arena Soccer League. Absolutely knew exactly what to do with the dimensions, with the line changes, with the combination play. They had a clear advantage over everybody. So Pasha, for them to be here and to beat a team like that, you know they have something.
Rip shot there from Pasha Luxury, well off target. But it is the yellow team that seems to have had a little bit better of the run so far. If you're looking at this team and you see a familiar face, that is Tom Huddleston. Yes, the former Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, as well as a bunch of other teams in England. He has a little bit different body shape, I would suggest, in his playing days.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that.
But you can tell as soon as that ball gets to his feet, I mean,
yeah, this team
it never left.
This team set is just littered with players.
Yeah, the resumes are wild. Some of the ages are up there, but the resumes are
all
wild.
over the English pyramid. You know, all types of divisions, EFL, Premier League, Championship. They are clearly represented, which I think is the great thing about this tournament. You have representation from the American soccer pyramid, outdoor and indoor, also futsal, and you have representation in the English pyramid and in Mexico as well.
Yeah. And think about on the women's side, where you have players in their 40s who have won multiple World Cups playing with high school kids. Yeah, and it's amazing what has become of this tournament here in year 3. Back to the action at hand. Cristian Gutierrez feeds it to Christian Borja. Here's Charlie Gonzalez trying to work some magic in that number 10 shirt. Beautiful give and go. He's got it on his left, but a well-timed block there from Pasha Luxury's Ayman Bututau. Cerda working a give and go on his own. The number 6 goes all the way back here. He doesn't want any trouble.
Oh, Lamy just swallows by his player.
Hey, look at that recovery speed from Huddleston.
That's a big boy.
Getting back to poke that out for a corner kick, and that could have been dangerous for Bumpy Pitch FC, trying to match what their women's team has accomplished. Bumpy Pitch FC women earlier today beating Old Train FC.
Oh, beautiful dummy.
Punched their ticket into the final. Low shot saved, but a sloppy rebound given up by Westwood. He's first to it, though, and no further damage.
Kieran Westwood right there. From the clean to saves. Fortunately, he can scoop it up. No harm, no foul.
Westwood started his career in the good recovery Manchester City Academy before, as you mentioned, like a lot of the guys on this Pasha Luxury team, bouncing around the lower leagues of English football. Andy Simpson. Zugi losing out there for Bumpy Pitch. Here comes Claude Dielna, the big man in 93. I mean, physically, this Pasha Luxury team is huge, aren't they? Or is that just me being tiny and thinking everybody's huge?
You are tiny. You are a tiny man, but you recognize bigger men. Yeah. These are absolute giants. Yeah. And what surprises me is not the sheer size, but the ability on the ball for how big they are and how nimble they are. These players have some athleticism to them, and you can clearly see they have experience in the way they use their body, in the way they try to triangulate, the way they try to combine Pasha Luxury with an embarrassment of riches when it comes to their physical attributes.
Bumpy Pitch on the ball. Ernesto Espinosa, the number 99. Drags it across midfield, looking to set up this attack for Bumpy Pitch. Back to Michel Cardenas. Espinosa driving at his defender on that left foot. Shot to the near post and goal! Ernesto Espinoza opens the scoring for Bumpy Pitch, hits him with a gritty, and it's 1-0.
And Kieran Westwood's going to want this one back. Credit to Espinoza here. Borja is going to come on to the right-hand side of maybe his peripheral vision, so he's got the number 9, he's got the Colombian in his vision, he's thinking about him. But Espinoza near post, and Kieran Westwood makes a meal out of that one. He's going to want that one back.
Brilliant stuff there from Espinoza, who last year played with Central Valley Fuego of USL's League One. Oh, long ball. They're testing Westwood, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Pasha Luxury has a concern in goal.
Absolutely.
Maybe Bumpy Pitch is looking to take advantage of that early on here. Although, you got to admit, from a Westwood perspective, I'm not necessarily defending him, but he is kind of staring straight into the sun. That's the end you don't want to be on as a goalie.
Yeah,
that makes your life way more difficult.
Yeah, you're right on that one, Sebi. But you could also see that the posture of Bumpy Pitch FC is to take your chances. They understand that goalkeepers are going to play high. They're going to play higher than they normally would in this type of setting, and you have to take your chances, take advantage of that. And you can see by the more than half field try right there.
Don't get
10 minutes down here in the first half from Cary, North Carolina. Wake Med Soccer Park, the scene for TST 2025. Started this tournament with 16 teams on the women's side. We're down to our final 2. Bumpy Pitch women will take on the U.S. women tomorrow in the $1 million championship match. On the men's side of the bracket, we started with 48 teams, Herc, a testament to just how much this tournament keeps growing year over year, and we're down now to the last 4. Bumpy Pitch and Pasha Luxury, who you're watching, as well as Pumas de Alabama and Kefa SC. Westwood on the ball. No pressure here from Bumpy Pitch. He'll be allowed to advance it. And perhaps give Pasha Luxury an extra attacker. Challenge in the middle, and Charlie Gonzalez called for the foul. You don't agree with it, Herc?
I think Charlie Gonzalez knew exactly what he was doing. I don't see much in that play, but it's the way that the player from Pasha receives the ball, he understands that it's from the other side. He puts that pressure. I thought he won it cleanly. You could see the tendencies of the players who play indoor, knowing exactly how to challenge, how to defend.
Long ball in, no trouble there for the Bumpy Pitch goalie. Always in green. We'll play from the back. And just a reminder for those of you interested in the second semifinal, which is coming up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be switching over to ESPNU for that one. So if you want to watch Pat McAfee and company go for that spot in the $1 million final, you'll have to switch over to ESPNU. We'll be kicking off from here in Cary, North Carolina, right around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, that's subject to what happens here in this game. Target score time can last 10 seconds, or it can last many, many minutes, as we just saw between the U.S. women and Union City, Dallas.
Look at that, Jesus Molina, Liga MX.
Wow, Mexican international. Yeah, long time.
America, Tigres, Chivas. This man, Pumas, as well, has been around. The number 5 right there for Bumpy.
Look at him, too. He's so physical. He's so giving, and then he complains when the ref catches him.
Both number 5s giving it to each other.
So is that
Isaiah Viñali and Jesus Molina?
You would have played against Molina, no?
Yes, sir.
Was he known for kind of that off-the-ball stuff?
No. He was a very, very good player. Very elegant. Yeah. He's a midfielder, defensive midfielder with the ability to play center back, but by no means known for physically being imposing or a player that...
Sometimes I think it's, the old pro and you just comes out.
Yeah.
You're right. There was a time when Jesus Molina really felt like
he was a national team player.
And he had a great career. I don't want to take away, but felt like he might become one of the big pieces of the Mexican national team. And for a while, was so kind of useful in many different roles that maybe it didn't turn out the career that we might have thought. But
yeah, it's difficult because in that position, they've had a wealth of players. I mean, Rafa Marquez was still playing with the national team when he was trying to come up there. Yaito Vasquez. I mean, there's a long list. Edson Alvarez was complete the picture. But Jesus Molina, very, very good career.
Hey, keep moving, keep moving. Keep moving.
All right, we're about 14 minutes into the first half here between Pasha Luxury and Bumpy Pitch FC. Good time to introduce the third member of our broadcast crew. Let's send it down to the sidelines and Alexis Nunez. Alexis?
Thanks, Debbie. I'm with Ben Hooper here, someone who Herc knows very well because he's been giving him free swag, and I'm really jealous. I don't know why the rich keep getting free things like Herc. But anyways, Ben, talk to me about Bumpy Pitch, because what a moment so far. Leading now in the men's semi-final. The women have already done the business. Great moment.
It's an unbelievable moment. A week ago when we showed up, I don't know that we could have dreamed this would happen. And here we are, 1-0 up in the second semi, already through on the women's side. And, it's been an amazing week with an amazing group of people, and couldn't have dreamed it.
Now, I know you own the brand, but of course there's some other people involved too. But talk to me about Bumpy Pitch for those tuning in and wondering, where has this team come from, both on the men's side and the women's side?
I mean, there's some incredible people that have put the team together from the playing standpoint. The group is incredible, and then they know the players, they know the format, they understand the type of people that they need to bring in to make the squads right. And my hats are off to all the people that put in a ton of hard work to get those teams right.
And Semi and Herc are up there on commentary. They've been loving the mix of players as well. You got some Americans, you got some Mexicans, really diverse team.
Yeah, it's very diverse. I mean, I think one thing that's very cool is it feels like American soccer. It's a group, it's culturally diverse, different styles of play. And I think, one thing I'm really proud of is that we do represent sort of what American soccer looks like, from how they play, how they talk, how they communicate. And I think it's a great moment to celebrate what American soccer is these days.
Ben, thank you so much. All the best for this one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alexis. And doing so, by the way, in some fire kits. So we did get some beautiful Bumpy Pitch jerseys sent up to the broadcast booth. Herc has ordered them all for himself. Not sure really what that's about.
Well, when they come with a number and a name.
They are beautiful kits. In fact, the shirt that's being worn right now in goal by Hugo Gomez is the alternate kit for Bumpy Pitch. That's what the women's team is wearing in their semifinal victory. Chance here for Pasha Luxuries. They drive end line, but Bumpy Pitch defense up to the task. Vignali, the number 5, been very active so far for Pasha Luxury. It was him getting into it with Jesus Molina.
And Bumpy Pitch is they've been a staple of American soccer, celebrating its history.
Yeah, for years. Yeah. I remember, pre-2014 World Cup, I want to say, like ordering some Bumpy Pitch shirts. So.
Oh, I was still playing in Mexico getting Bumpy Pitch gear. Ben Hooper at that time, his associate was Brian Dunseth. Has gone out to greener pastures, but Ben Hooper's holding it down and doing a good job. He's still representing America's footy culture.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Dunseth, a colleague of both of ours at various times. I was lucky enough to work with Dunny on my first ever national broadcast.
You're lucky enough to work with me, right?
A blessing and a curse, some might say.
Now, Seb, this is where Pasha Luxury can be very, very dangerous. Look at the amount of bodies they have and the size, and watch out for the left foot here. I've already mentioned it.
Two-man wall for Bumpy Pitch in front of Hugo Gomez, but it is a very, very dangerous angle. Ball whipped in, never got off the ground and never got past the ball. All the way back to Westwood, who clears in desperation. It's actually turned out well. Vignali nearly bringing it down. He's challenged again for a second time. Now we've turned into a game of tennis, going back and forth. Just a couple minutes left in the first half here. Bumpy Pitch on top, 1-0.
Stay tucked in, stay tucked in. Stay tucked in a little bit. Yeah, now you can go a little bit.
Goal coming about midway through the first half from Ernesto Espinosa.
Tucked in again, 2, Charlie, 2. Yes, Leroy. Not inside, not inside. Don't let that ball go straight to the middle.
Long ball from Westwood.
Yeah, and Bumpy Pitch will be doing this all day, allowing this to happen all day. Kieran Westwood, let him be the playmaker. Stay patient, nothing through the middle. You can hear that. And then when they have the ball, they'll take their chances with their movement. Pasha Luxury really has to start finding a groove here, maybe force a turnover. There you go.
Some pressure from the team in yellow will lead to a clearance from Charlie Gonzalez.
Yeah, much better for Pasha.
Omar Nias. Just a monster with his back to goal. pretty good with his front to goal as well. Trying to work some one-on-one magic. It's going to turn into 1-on-3 here pretty quickly, but he does manage to keep possession for Pasha Luxury deep in the bumpy pitch end.
Yeah, and it's Christian Borja who's the leading goal scorer of this tournament. Your goal scorer who's doing the defensive duties right there.
Borja in the number 9. Pressure aiding Adrian Mariappa.
37 now.
Now, to be fair, you and I are both in our 40s, so I feel like we shouldn't really be talking bad about 37-year-olds.
No, I'm saying that's very good work that he's displaying at 37 years of age. Listen, I'm in my 40s, but I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
Right, you're not trying to still play. Yeah, I always wonder what these guys in their late 30s think when you got a 19 or 20-year-old running at you. We definitely saw that in the game we just called on the women's side. You had teenagers going against players in their 40s. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half here between Bumpy Pitch and Pasha Luxury. FC winner of this moves on to the $1 million championship tomorrow night. We've got just one goal. It's courtesy Ernesto Espinoza. There it was, putting Bumpy Pitch up 1-0. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the soccer tournament. Visit soccer.com. It's the official store of TST. Great to have you back with us here from Cary, North Carolina. 20 minutes down between the Bumpy Pitchmen and Pasha Luxury FC. Winner of this game moves on to the championship game tomorrow, where the winner there gets $1 million. Bumpy Pitch on top 1-0, courtesy of an Ernesto Espinoza goal early in the first half. Herc, as we take a look at the first half stats brought to us by RBC Wealth Management, what stands out to you?
Well, how much Bumpy Pitch has dominated. They clearly have a grasp for how the game's supposed to be played in this type of setting, 7v7. Pasha Luxury, they have some very interesting players that can mark the difference if they get isolated 1v1, but just haven't been able to do that.
Teams starting to filter back out onto the field here at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. When we return, second half kickoff between Bumpy Pitch and Pasha Luxury. Today's broadcast is presented by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of TST. Hercules Gomez, Sebastian Salazar back with you from Cary, North Carolina in the first of two semifinals on the men's side of the bracket at TST 2025. Bumpy Pitch and Pasha Luxury kicking off the second half here with Bumpy Pitch in control, up 1-0 thanks to an Ernesto Espinoza goal 10 minutes in to the first half. And just a reminder, we will play 20 minutes in this second half, but the end of regulation does not mean the end of the game. We've got target score time. I'll explain that in just a second because we may have a real goal here. Oh, what a save, and swept off the line. Hugo Gomez did the job first, then his defense came to help, and Bumpy Pitch dodged a bullet.
You gotta be kidding me. Bakary Sacco right there with the chance of the tournament, and Gomez just, I have no idea how he kept that out. No idea.
Bakary Sacco, Mali international, Premier League experience, but unable there to beat Hugo Gomez from point-blank range. Big challenge there between the two sevens. Alami hammered to the ground to be Bumpy Pitch ball, but how did they manage to keep that out?
That's an insane way to
Cardenas. That's Mitchell Cardenas in the number 17 that made the all-important play to back up his goalie, Hugo Gomez.
Listen, we're going to give Cardenas props for being there, but what Hugo Gomez just did is unreal for any setting, any football setting. That was a ridiculous save. The ball was behind him. He was already beat and still got a paw on it.
There's no doubt about it, Herc. In this tournament...
He beat him. That should be a goal. There is no way that doesn't end up in the back of the net. Nianse should feel robbed.
We saw it in the second of the women's semifinals. Lindsay Harris having just an absolutely monstrous performance in net. That was the difference for the U.S. women to advance. We're not quite there yet, but Hugo Gomez If Bumpy Pitch does advance to the final, we may look at that moment, that specific save, as one of, if not the, big reason why. Beautiful build out here from Bumpy Pitch. Look good, play good. Left-footed shot coming, but it's well defended by Pasha Luxury. Huddlestone with a classy pass up front. Wow, that did not feel good for old Charlie Gonzalez. Turning his back to the ball and takes an absolute rip off the lower part of his backside. Marniasi put all of his laces into that.
Wow. After what happened, he's got to be thinking to himself, he's going to take something extra special.
Yes, with some time and some space on that left foot. Oh. Shot saved again by Gomez. Mariapa on it, beats his man, draws some contact across the box. Great opportunity there for Pasha Luxury, and Ayman Bututau sends it over.
Yeah, Niasi's got to be thinking to himself, what's it going to take? Gomez again, this time with his foot. Ball comes across. Good refereeing. Let play go on.
Start getting some chance going here for Gomez. He is standing on his head and keeping Bumpy Pitch on top here in the semifinals. Winner moves on to tomorrow's championship match, where, in case you haven't heard, the winner gets $1 million. Tournament is winner takes all. So as good as it may feel to make it to the semis or even reach the final, if you don't win it all, you go home empty-handed. Gonzalez moves to go all the way back to Gomez, and Gomez under pressure here. Took a bad first touch, but does manage to get it out. Alan Perez leaves it across, and what a finish! Christian Borja racing in behind, and Bumpy Pitch have two.
Oh, this is very fortunate for Bumpy Pitch FC. And it starts with, who else? Hugo Gomez. Deep ball, Alan Perez gets the better of it. And then a nice little delicate ball through it. Christian Borja, that's his 7th of the tournament. Leads all TST men and women. A delicate finish from a finisher. A goal scorer's goal. The 7th of the tournament.
Borja with an absolutely beautiful goal in the 5th minute of the second half, and Bumpy Pitch FC have themselves some cushion. Again, they're still going to have to hit whatever that target score time is, but if you go into target score time with a multiple goal leader, that is just an overwhelming advantage. You're really putting the other team up against it.
Yeah, especially with a team that makes you chase the ball, a team that knows how to interpret the space in this tight setting. That's just not a fun place to be.
Gomez will take his time here.
Let's see. Edgar Castillo, ex-US men's national team, now on the field. Has some Liga MX Major League Soccer experience. I don't have enough fingers to count the teams, but
there we go.
A very good
former
player.
Teammate of yours, right, at Cholos?
At Cholos with the US men's national team. He's a very good player, very underrated. This is cater-made for him, these tight spaces. He knows how to attack. He's very quick.
Jonathan Bornstein, another familiar name on the Bumpy Pitch roster. I don't think we've seen him today, have we?
Yes, he was in before. I saw Johnny Bornstein. And if you think about it, that's 2 of the left backs that the U.S. men's national has had over the last 10, 15 years.
A position of quite a bit of discussion.
Yes.
My memory of our time on Football Americas and before holds up.
Absolutely. And continues to be a discussion with no Anthony Robinson for goal.
You know, and Bornstein was always such an interesting one, because I feel like he was always I guess we got to put him in there, but he did a job, you know. People always seem to complain about old Johnny Bornstein, but he was always there when you needed him. Steady as you like.
Think about life after Johnny Bornstein was putting DeMarcus Beasley as left back.
That is not a shot at DeMarcus Beasley.
It's a shot. No, I'm just kidding, DeMarcus. Great guy. He can still
starting
play.
left back at Puebla when he was doing that, so. Got some off-the-ball chicanery here.
Sorry, show what?
Chicanery.
Let me look that up.
Yeah. I wasn't good at math, but I did all right on the verbal part of the SAT. Imagine that. 26 minutes in, so 6 minutes into the second half here at Cary, North Carolina's Wake Med Soccer Park. Bumpy Pitch have opened up a 2-goal lead over Pasha Luxury in the first of 2 semifinals. At stake, a spot in the $1 million championship tomorrow night. We'll find out who the other team will be in that game coming up here on ESPNU. It's Pumas, the Alabama, taking on Concaifa SC. That of Concaifa SC, of course, is Pat McAfee's team.
Oh, that's probably a card there. Yeah.
Didn't they have the Pat McAfee show down here for a couple of the days this week?
I believe so.
Yeah, brought a lot of attention to the tournament. That was very cool.
Yeah, this is going to be Charlie Gonzalez' deserved card here. He knows what he's doing. He's slowing that down. It's a tactical foul. A well-earned one. He'll complain about it. He'll let the referee know, but that's a well-earned card.
As a person who was a bad defender in his day, I used to dangle that leg a lot. He got caught dangling the leg there. Perhaps the challenge you might expect from somebody who wears the number 10. And it will result in another dangerous set piece here for Pasha Luxury. Let's see if they can take advantage of this one. Hugo Gomez has come up huge so far for this team. Bakary Sako standing over with that monstrous left foot.
Wow.
Hugo! Que grande, Hugo!
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
End-to-end stuff! Bravo! Bravo! Bumpy Pitch, we are not worthy!
I mean, just when you think Hugo Gomez's day could not get any better, it's a free kick. Bakary Sako, ridiculous deflection and save, palms it off the crossbar. They stay ready, and Bumpy Pitch is in transition. They're going the other way. It's beautifully done. Munir Alami to guess who? Charlie Gonzalez, the architect of this team. Beautifully saved, beautiful transition, and can you believe it? That's 3 goals for Bumpy Pitch, and Pasha doesn't know what hit.
Great finish there, but how about the pass from Alami? He had to squeeze that right through a very narrow window.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, from a guy that's shot a couple times and it's found its way to a teammate of mine for an assist. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it was beautiful.
Ooh, almost a fourth there for Bumpy Pitch, who are threatening to run away with this thing. Andy Reyes.
Listen, when they asked me if I meant to, I just always responded, I meant to be dangerous.
Ball comes across. Westwood couldn't gather it. It'll be cleared by Mariapa. They actually had a change in goal. That's Joshua Schofield in net now for Pasha Luxury FC. As Westwood has given way to the second goalie for the team in yellow.
And you have to wonder if Schofield is maybe a little better with his feet. They're trying to get an extra player on the field. If that's the intent here, they're down multiple goals, 3 goals. A lot can change, but they need something.
Testing Hugo Gomez. He did get a touch, according to Brandon Marion, the center referee, and so we will have a corner kick here for Pasha Luxury. If they don't want to go into target score time with too much of a hill to climb, they need to start getting some goals. Uh-oh, trouble here. Bumpy Pitch pressuring. Schofield able to play it out of danger, at least for now. Bumpy Pitch not turning down the press. Pasha Luxury, no luxuries now. They need goals any way they come. Dutau lays it off. Simon Carlson, entry pass denied. This could be tricky. This could be tricky. This could be tricky. Oh, and that whistle just bailed out Pasha Luxury.
Yeah, that's the word right there, bailed out. That's not the cleanest of touches. The goalkeeper right there, trying to bring that down with the left peg. I don't see much in this. This is the goalkeeper being bailed out by the referee right here. There's contact there. It's a tough one. He'll feel very fortunate the referee came to save the day for him.
Yeah, I think the point is just as easily it could have not been called, right?
Yeah, you don't want to take an extra risk. If you don't feel comfortable bringing that down, clear it, get it out. You're already down 3 goals. You don't need a fourth. The fourth would be an absolute dagger.
The guy up in the press box can see it was trouble. It probably is trouble. And it nearly was there for Pasha Luxury FC. You can figure a 4th goal for Bumpy Pitch, and this thing would have been all but curtains. I say that having seen a team in this tournament, be it on the women's side, enter target score tie down 4-0 and come all the way back to win 5-4. So it is possible, it's just highly improbable. Quick corner. Did take a deflection. We'll get another shot at it here for Pasha Luxury FC. We're 32 minutes in. We play 40 and then target score time. So 8 minutes left in regulation. Vignoli going through one man. Now walks himself into a corner. Well, he'll be double teamed and hammered.
Oh, beautiful touch.
This Bumpy Pitch team is good. They are a problem, and they are looking for a 4th.
Great
Big time save. Schofield keeping his team in it for Pasha Luxury FC.
Nzugusi thought he had it, but Schofield, just a big palm, making himself just strong.
Pasha Luxury looking for a sign of life, anything to get back in this game before the start of target score time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ball in Nzugusi, Leroy Nzugusi. Good touch there. But Schofield being forced to put that paw. He's very strong. You got to be strong there. He was. Great save.
6 minutes and change till we hit the end of regulation. Bumpy Pitch would like to keep it at least a 3-goal lead, if not more. Pasha Luxury approaching desperation time. They need something on the scoreboard before we head to target score time. That's a swipe, a foul. It may well be a card here.
It should be a card.
As Alami crashes to the ground, courtesy Simon Carlson.
Yeah, Simon Carlson just comes right through. It's a very late challenge. Very surprised there's no card here. A lot of frustration now. Seeping up from Pasha Luxury. Bumpy Pitch just doing what they want at this point.
Got Castillo on the field here for Bumpy Pitch, manning the end line, perhaps a target from this set piece.
We got Duvia Riascos now, number 8 on the field. The Colombian has played in Mexico and Brazil. He was part of Cholos's run, made it to a semifinal Libertadores.
You know, that's one of the things about this tournament. It's like, oh, that's where that guy ended up. And you look up his resume, and you know, that's one of the big joys of this tournament, is seeing players with all sorts of different types of resumes. And oftentimes it's the guys with the resumes that aren't dominating, you know? It's a player you haven't heard of. I just keep thinking back to that La Bombonera team. They were eliminated last night, but they won it all last year. They had some names, you know, guys who'd had a cup of coffee in Liga MX or maybe the 2nd division in Mexico.
Youth national team.
But it wasn't Nani FC.
No,
right?
Of course not.
You know?
It wasn't Nani FC with Nani or Ricardinho, who's a futsaling legend. No. A lot of these players that are big names, big resumes, you know, they want the experience. They want to meet up with the buddies again. Edgar Castillo, Cholos, Riasco was at Cholos, Borja was there as well. So there's a lot of connections.
Love to know the recruiting here. It's like you get one guy and then he knows 2 other guys, and very interesting how the making of these teams, the putting together of these teams goes here at TST. I'll tell you what, Bumpy Pitch has put together a really, really good team. A semifinal should not be this much of a difference between the two sides, but right now Bumpy Pitch is cruising towards target score time with a 3-0 lead over Pasha Luxury FC. Stands filling in here as we get ready for the last of 4 semifinals across the 2 brackets for the men and women respectively. Great facility here in Cary, North Carolina. Wake Med Soccer Park, home to NCFC of the USL and the North Carolina Courage of the NWSL. They had a youth tournament here, a TST youth tournament this morning. I got to see my goddaughter, win the U12 title in target score time. They do it for the kids as well. Shout out to Valentina Amar and the rest of her teammates. Very impressive. Bumpy Pitch, happy to clear this ball off their own end line and perhaps turn it into an attack.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Alami's been dangerous. He's got a man in the middle. Will choose to pause. Now runs at his man. Now that's a great challenge from Mariapa. He's been good all day in that number 4 for Pasha Luxury FC.
Yeah, he's been very good, but unfortunately the rest of his teammates have not been on par with them. Bumpy Pitch, just they commit numbers going forward, and in transition, they're very disciplined. A lot of numbers coming back. They understand what this is about. these players have been in this type of setting before.
I don't know what a sellout is here, Herc, but there's not a lot of empty seats. And we know that the main event is truly what's coming up in just about an hour's time when Pat McAfee's Concaifa SC takes on the team from Alabama. Bumpy pitch here looking to add a fourth. They won't be able to do it. Schofield is doing some big things to keep Pasha Luxury even slightly, remotely in this game right now. He's made 2 stops, and if not for them, boy, I think Pasha Luxury would be down 4, 5, maybe even more. Bumpy pitch truly putting on a clinic here.
They're self-inflicted wounds. Nothing Pasha Luxury should be doing to themselves. Just silly mistakes, trying to play out of the back, getting their pocket picked. Route 1 traffic. It's a good ball across. Oh, you can see it, Alan Perez thinks he's got it. Schofield, excuse me. Very good, very strong in that save.
Pasha Luxury really having trouble holding onto the ball in midfield, and the problem in 7-on-7, you turn it over and you are cooked. Here comes Bumpy pitch. Oh, so close. Saw the idea, didn't come up there as Leroy and Zugi couldn't quite keep it in for Bumpy pitch FC. Here comes Pasha Luxury. This game's starting to really open up. Big shot again towards the middle of the area. A big collision and his last touch by Pasha Luxury, so Bumpy pitch comes away playing.
I think Niasa's got a good shot for a corner kick. It looked like it came off the defender.
You know what he thought of that non-call? Schofield quickly back in play. Here comes Pasha Luxury through Danny Simpson. Another turnover. Can Bumpy pitch make it 4? Looked like Nzugi had drawn the foul, but no call from the referee, and Bumpy pitch starting to get frustrated with some of the calls not going their way.
Enzo Lucy looked like he clearly got by his man. Yeah, that's a big leg out. Looked like a last man foul as well. There's contact there. He's just trying to get chippy.
Danny Simpson on the ball. And his career with Manchester United ended it at Macclesfield last year. Looking at his resume as like a tour guide of English football. Every division. Regulation running out here in Cary, North Carolina, so it looks like Pasha Luxury will head to target score time with a massive hill to climb. Maybe something here. Could they get one before the end of regulation? Would be huge, but it won't happen because Hugo Gomez is standing between those two pipes. A big stop. He keeps the clean sheet, and as we approach the end of regulation, Bumpy pitch are rolling. Whistle, and this is a very, very big call from Brandon Marion.
Well, there's a lot of contact, a lot of grabbing, pulling at each other. It looked like it was both ways.
I mean, Nias is just such a big body. Yeah. It is tough to handle him. And Cardenas, who has been dealing with him well throughout this game, maybe gets a little too much of the striker.
Yeah, I think Niasi sells it very well. There's clear pulling from both players, but right there, that last lunge, I think this is a good call. Niasi sells it very well. He clearly gains the inside advantage, and you can't take that risk, which Cardenas does. Referee sees it. We're going to the spot.
Wow, what a massive moment here. Looks like it will be Bakari Sacco, the man with Premier League experience, to try and hammer home a goal, which would have huge ramifications for target score time. Looks like the target score will be 4. Pasha Luxury, if he makes it here, will only need 3. Sacco standing over it, right down the middle, and onto the score sheet. Pasha Luxury make it 3-1 on the last kick of regulation, and we will head to target score time with things just a little bit closer.
Bakari Sacco just driving that, all power. And this is a big goal, massive goal, 3-1, heading to target score.
All right, When we return, one team will punch their ticket to tomorrow's $1 million championship match. Target Score Time is next. The soccer tournament is presented by Adidas, the official fanwear and performance footwear partner of TST. Welcome back to Cary, North Carolina, and ESPN's coverage of TST 2025. We are headed to Target Score Time between Pasha Luxury FC and Bumpy Pitch. Whoever hits that magic number, in this case 4, will be playing for $1 million tomorrow. If you haven't been following along, here's a quick explainer on what exactly Target Score Time is. At the end of regulation, the target score is set. It's the leading team's number of goals plus 1, and whoever gets to that number first will be moving on every 3 minutes, and this is super important. We just saw this be a huge factor in the second women's semifinal. Every 3 minutes, a player is removed. Herc, what do we get down to in that one? 3-on-3? We went from 7-on-7 to 3-on-3.
Yes, sir.
And you can only imagine the chaos when you got this much pitch and only 6 players. Things get really crazy, really stretched, and really end-to-end. We'll see if that's what awaits us here in this version of Target Score Time. Pasha Luxury have their work cut out for them if they are to reach a final. They'll need to score 3 unanswered goals here. And if they do reach that final, they'll be playing the winner of tonight's second semifinal. That one taking place at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU. A reminder for those of you following along right now on ESPN+, you should switch over to ESPNU. The darlings of the tournament, Pat McAfee's, the Conquefa SC, taking on Pumas de Alabama. Hercules Gomez and Sebastian Salazar with you as we await the start of Target Score Time. Been awfully impressed throughout this 40 minutes, Herc, by Bumpy Pitch, but I can't help thinking that that goal late from Sacco just might be big here.
Massive. It's a shot of adrenaline, a shot of life, just something that they desperately needed. Pasha Luxury, this is not over by any means, but you got to get that goal. You got to get that goal. You cannot allow a team like Bumpy Pitch to have an open look.
Long ball in here from Bumpy Pitch. Looking for the target man, Borja. Already found the back of the net today. Oh, chance here. Could it be? The desperate defending turned up even another notch from Pasha Luxury. Big play there from Stephen Ireland. Ireland on the ball again, another player that began his career at Manchester City. Hasn't played professionally in almost 7 years. Still looks pretty good out there. He'll need to find some magic here because his team is down 3-1. And that's not the touch Pasha Luxury we're looking for. Anthony Knockhart missing the target. 2 minutes from losing a player here and dropping to 6-on-6 as the first minute of Target Score Time has come and gone. The magic number here is 4. The pressure on Pasha Luxury. They need 3 unanswered. Cannot afford to concede. Bumpy pitch just needing the 1. All right, Pasha Luxury seem to have kind of figured out a game plan.
Yeah.
They're going route 1 to Nias, and he is a problem. And he is a problem. And he almost had the second.
Wow, there's a bigger problem here. Nias is a problem, but the bigger problem is Hugo Gomez today is just ridiculous form. Uses his body very well, this time with the right foot. Oh, wow. The slightest of glances, which is so difficult for Hugo, for the goalkeeper. He reacts correctly. It's a ridiculous instinctive save, Seb.
I want to see the interaction after the game between Nias and Gomez. I just feel like he's got to go over and say something.
I mean,
you robbed me at least of 2 sure goals in this game.
Yeah,
and he's probably saved. He's probably saved. I would say there's been 2 from Nias. Another one from Sacco. There's been like 3-4 sure goal saves that he's kept
There
out.
was one that was a double play when it hit the crossbar. Actually, and the problem is 2 of those saves resulted in goals against.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I mean, that speaks to the transition as well, right? From bumpy pitch, that they can go from desperate defending to tucking in. That 3rd goal from bumpy pitch
was ridiculous. But what I'm trying to say here, Seb, is even when you pick and choose your moments, you have to be even more careful.
Cárdenas on the ball. He was the guilty party on the penalty that allowed Pasha Luxury to get their 1 goal so far here today. Gomez has it, the hero. There have been goal scores for bumpy pitch, but no doubt the hero so far, their goalie, Hugo Gomez. Send this one high into the Carolina afternoon sky. Temperatures cooling at least a little bit as the sun has thankfully ducked behind a cloud here in Cary, North Carolina, and that's the 3-minute mark of target score time. You know what that means. We're losing a man. We're dropping down to 6v6, and there's more space and more tired legs here on the pitch in Cary. Free kick in a good spot coming here for bumpy pitch. All they need is 1. Borja, the target in the area. Will he get it? Monitored closely by Christian Waglin. Great tackle. I'm in Buntutau. Now running forward. The number 9 springs Nias. He's in a corner working against Cárdenas. What a battle that has been, 1-on-1. Nias keeps it, slams it across, gets another crack at it. And I think that shot hit his own man. And if it hadn't, it may well have been goal bound. Instead, bumpy pitch clinging to their 3-1 lead. Waglin. Drops it for Schofield. Good chance here. Ututau slips it in for Nias, but there's just no making your way through that tough, bumpy pitch defense.
And Nias is just knackered, completely spent.
Wow, look at that shirt. He is sweating.
Yeah, he's asking for a sub.
It's almost like you got to have either Nias or Sacco on, you know? It feels like they're just not going to be dangerous enough without at least one of those 2 guys.
And they're both out right now.
Yeah.
Looks like they're giving them a breather, trying to get some maybe more composed players that are used to being more box-to-box, that can keep the ball. They've not been able to breathe. It's a difficult setting. Bumpy pitch has been cruise control for the majority of this game.
You know, Herc, it's obviously different than 11-on-11, but there's so much kind of interesting strategy that goes into this. And I'm even just thinking from first half rotations, knowing that like when target score time comes, you want your best players fresh. Yeah, you want to stay in the game, but if it's ultimately going to decide it at the end, that's when you need your studs.
Yeah. I think more than anything, you need a goalkeeper who's not just a shot stopper, but he's an extra player on the field. He's a sweeper. Diego Gomez is that. You can see when he has the ball at his feet, he thinks, he feels.
More post-up play here for Pasha Luxury, and it almost came off there. Carlson's shot off his shin will go safely over the bar, and we're just about 45 seconds here from dropping down to 5v5. And target score time is often cagey to start, but once you get down to your 5v5s and your 4v4s, and especially your 3v3s, then it's just pure chaos.
Yeah, but Bumpy Pitch has clear patterns. With 7, with 6, with 5. You can see the intent, the idea. They all involve the goalkeeper. They all involve the extra player, how to split the second man run. And you can see it's going to go back to the goalkeeper. They're going to try to make Pasha Luxury chase. And when they do, open man.
Here comes the long ball. The target, Borja. Schofield out to gather easily. They launch a quick counter. No. Not a lot of options available for the Pasha Luxury goalie. Not long at least. He'll play it short with Mariappa. Mariappa's got acres of space. Will he take it? Crossing midfield now into the Bumpy Pitch half. Sacco. I mean, he just looks like an ex-Premier League player. He's got the look about him.
He looks like a current Premier League player. You can see the movements, the intent. There's purpose to every run.
Here's Mariappa trying to create something. Drops it for Carlson.
Now, Seb, we've had a bit of an overcast for the majority of this game. The sun just came out.
Yep, I think I jinxed it.
And Diego Gomez has the sun right in his eyes.
Yeah, that's going to be trouble for whichever goalie is on that side, not just here in target score time of this game, but also at least in the first half of the second semifinal, which is coming up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU. Pumas de Alabama taking on Pat McAfee's Conquepa SC. And we have just run out another 3 minutes here in target score time. That means we're going from 6v6 to 5v5. Herc, open it up.
If you've got something left in the reserve, something left in the tank, this is the time. Pasha Luxury, this is the time. And if you're Bumpy Pitch, keep doing what you're doing.
Look at Hugo Gomez. He's the goalie and he's got his hands on his knees. Even the goalies are tired here at TST. Gonzalez back to Hugo Gomez. And I don't think if you're Bumpy Pitch, you're necessarily scared of going to 4v4 or 3v3. To me, and maybe you'll disagree here, I think they have the physical advantage.
I think a couple players have the physical advantage. I don't think they have the advantage of the ball at their feet. There's a lot of movement from Bumpy Pitch. Hugo Gomez is going to draw these players. Christian Borja, he stays like a legit 9. And he'll be a post-up player, but that works to their advantage if you can move off of him.
Right. If you have the ball and you're Bumpy Pitch, it's great to have Borja on the field in 4v4. Right. But when you lose it, it's trouble.
Yep.
Let's see if Gomez decides to do something about it.
He's got to drive with it
himself. He wants a shot. He's going to take it.
Yep.
Schofield's going to save it and keep this thing going at least another few minutes in Cary, North Carolina. Hugo Gomez, the hero in net, wanted to be the hero with a game-winning goal as well.
Well, if they're going to give it to you, Hugo Gomez, you got to shoot. And he does. It's a good save. But if they're going to give it to you, you have to shoot.
We've got some controversy here on the subbing for Pasha Luxury, I think. They've put another player on without designating him as the goalie.
Yeah, it has to change.
Green ball at the half. Green ball.
We'll try to listen in for an explanation. It sounds like it'll be green ball at the half.
No, I think he's going to start it back up. Yep, it is a possession lost.
All right, well, in target score time, the one thing that really matters is possession. Bumpy Pitch has it here and are 1 goal away from tomorrow playing for $1 million.
Yeah, the one thing that really does matter is possession, if you can do something with it. I was very interested to see how much Bumpy Pitch would respect Pasha Luxury once they had the ball. Would they press them? Would they respect them and sit deep, let them ping the ball around?
Gotta stay organized.
Gomez calmly on the ball. We're about 15 seconds away from 4v4, and it looks like Bumpy Pitch wants that.
I think Bumpy Pitch is more dangerous at this point when Borja's off the field. He's not giving you a lot of movement. That's the best thing they do is circulate the ball. He plays post up like that. He's just waiting for it. It's just another guy there.
Pasha Luxury on the ball and making subs. They look to get attacking players onto the field. Now we've got an, I think, mistime substitution from Bumpy Pitch. Well, this doesn't really change things because Pasha Luxury had the ball anyway.
Chu came on, Cardenas.
He knew it. He took about 3 or 4 steps on. He said, we'd all seen it by then, and so he'll go in the book. Well, he won't go in the book, because if he went in the book, that'd be his second yellow. So I guess it's just a sideline yellow then. We're down to 4v4. We're going to have a hero. The only question is, who will it be?
It looks like there will be a change at the goalkeeper position.
Hey, make sure it's clear. Thank you. Make sure it's clear here.
Knockout on the ball.
You've got Saka and Niasi both on the field now.
This is the power play lineup, so to say, for Pasha Luxury. Nias operating as a goalie running point. It's 4-on-4, but for now operating as a 4-on-3 with Gomez pinned to his goal line. Nias and Sako can hammer from distance. Can't give him space. Sako wants it on his left foot. There's zero doubt about that. Pasha Luxury taking their time.
So calm on the ball. And I think Bumpy Pitch know that. They got to pick and choose. They're up a few goals.
Could it be here? Ball into Carlson, but he can't scrap it out. We got a race. Nias going to be first to it. And good thing he was. Otherwise, Bumpy Pitch were in trouble. They're in trouble here. Sako driving at the defense on that left foot. What has he done? What has he done?
Get rid of it.
Had a chance to score, instead gave it away, and here comes Bumpy Pitch down the other end and looking for the game winner. Shot over the bar. Had Niasa dead to rights, and instead it's fired over from Christian Gutierrez.
Yeah, Gutierrez, you got to be a little bit more composed here. It's 1v1. He looked up. There was nobody there. He opts for power instead of placing it. Pasha Luxury get it back.
Ayman Bututau leaves it for Nias. Sako off to the right. Bututau cuts it left. Again, the number 9 on it. From the edge of the area. Thought about a shot. Leaves it for Nias. 1 goal here from Pasha Luxury FC, and it is game on. 1 goal from Bumpy Pitch, and it is game over. Under a minute to play before we go to 3 versus 3. Whoosh. Very close to a critical turnover there. Instead, it's still 3-1, and we're still 4v4. Pasha Luxury on the ball. Possession means nothing if you can't score for the team in yellow, and right now they need goals, 3 of them to be exact. Nias. He's got Sako at the back stick, has picked him out. Leaves it for Knockout. Nias. Turnover. Ooh. Nias goes to ground. A potential goal-saving challenge, but he is called for the foul by Brandon Marion.
Yeah, you can't slide tackle. He does. It's an easy call. And now, your playmakers are out. Now you're trying to absorb. You're trying to wait. Good opportunity for Bumpy Pitch, who have the players capable of keeping the ball.
We've hit the 3 minutes, which means we should be going to 3v3. We're still currently 4v4. Not sure if Brandon Marion has noted the scoreboard yet, but it seems Bumpy Pitch content to keep that clock running and eventually get this thing down to 3v3. It is still 4v4. They need just the 1 goal to play for $1 million tomorrow night. They want Hugo Gomez to go up. Slowly, he joins the attack. Tranquilo, calm is being preached from the Bumpy pitch sideline.
It's Borja who's in right now. There's not a lot of movement from him. He's waiting to post up. He's trying to be an option. Charlie Gonzalez doesn't feel like it's the correct time, the correct option.
Gonzalez on the ball for Gomez. Nice touch. They've opened it up here nicely. Espinoza on the ball wearing the number 99. He scored the first goal of the game here for Bumpy pitch. Got a pretty good left foot. Charlie. Hugo. Charlie again in the number 10.
Like a game of cat and mouse.
Pasha Luxury have to stay in front of the ball. Want to win it back, but can't be too aggressive. One mistake, and Bumpy pitch are in the final. Gomez switches it for Espinoza. Manages to keep it in bounds. Looking to draw out Pasha Luxury.
I don't know if you can hear that, Seb, the coaching staff on that side. Que corra. Let him run, make him run.
Three to 1. Bumpy pitch need a goal. Pasha Luxury need 3. Gonzalez in the corner. Does Gomez want a shot? Back to Gonzalez. Espinoza lurking on the far side. Borja in the middle. Espinoza rolling those shorts all the way up. Need every advantage you can get. You're deep in target score time. Fuel tanks on empty. Gonzalez for Gomez, and back to Gonzalez, the number 10. Tried to pick out that upper 90, hit it, never had a chance, and Pasha Luxury will retake possession. And now, at long last, we made our way from 7v7 Herc to 3v3. And you gotta think the goals are coming now.
I mean, it sure feels like it. These guys are on empty.
Nias on the ball. He was the target for so much of this game, now playing distributor. Ututau. Or Nias. Back to the number 9. Bututau driving to the end line. Cuts it back. Nias chance to score. Hugo Gomez. Stop me if you've heard that before. A chance for the win. Bumpy pitch. Golazo. Cristian Gutierrez. And the boys in green will be playing for some serious green tomorrow night.
If they win that money, Seb, if they win that $1 million, a big chunk of that, Hugo Gomez. It's a massive, massive save, which starts the transition. Like the 3 other goals we've seen here, off of Hugo Gomez's saves, and El Guti with the game winner and an opportunity of $1 million tomorrow night.
Wow, sensational finish. And Herc, it very much feels like we've got a deserving finalist in Bumpy Pitch FC as they win 4-1. The Golden Fleece, courtesy of Adidas, goes to the man who scored the winner in target scored time. Cristian Gutierrez firing into an open net to give Bumpy Pitch the 4th goal, the goal that they needed to advance past Pasha Luxury FC. Let's send it down to the field where our Alexis Nunez is standing by.
Yeah, thanks, Seri. Oh, I'm going to try and see if I can hear properly because they've just started with the music. We've got Cristian Martínez, Borja. Cristian, felicidades. Qué golazo hoy, pero ya llevas 7 goles. El récord es 7 goles y falta un partido. Así que, ¿cuál ha sido el secreto? 7 goals, Cristian. You're almost there to breaking the record. What's been the secret?
Bueno, primero que todo, muchas gracias por la entrevista. Primero agradecerle a Dios por los goles al equipo. Yo creo que se armó un buen equipo. somos una familia y por ahí en la oportunidad de hacer los goles, los compañeros también me asisten muy bien.
Well, he wants to thank his team. He wants to thank God as well just for the opportunity to play with them. He says that they're a brilliant team together and he's just enjoying this tournament. Ahora viene la gran final. $1 millón puedes ganar. Así que, bueno, ¿qué significa esta oportunidad para ti y para todos los colombianos que están viéndote ahora en ESPN?
No, sí, siempre es bueno representar bien el país y más en este tipo de torneo donde participan jugadores muy importantes. Sí, como tú dijiste, un pasito más. Vamos con la ayuda de Dios a conseguir ese gran objetivo que es ser campeones.
Bueno, Cristian, muchísimas gracias.
Bueno, gracias a ustedes.
Well, he said he's very, very happy for this opportunity and for all the Colombians watching him and that he hopes that the Lord will help them win this $1 million. Debbie?
Bravo, Alexis. Hey, that is no easy work there. The live translation in the interview, Alexis did a great job. So did Borja as he scored one of the goals today en route to Bumpy Pitch FC, clinching their spot in tomorrow's $1 million championship match. We still have to find out who they're going to play in that $1 million game, and we're not far off from doing that. Kickoff coming up in just around 9 minutes from here in Cary, North Carolina, between Concaifa SC and Pumas de Alabama. For Hercules Gomez, I'm Sebastian Salazar. Thank you so much for watching, and congratulations to Bumpy Pitch FC, headed to the final.